wideband antenna that I'm on, and I've got it up at 25 feet. Of course, I'm on 558 feet elevation, so that helps some. But it's not but 25 feet in the air, and it seems to do fine right where it's at.
Nobody is out there. Standing by. Money on there today, I'm gonna be mad. Hey, be ready, bud. I'm sure hot. I guess it's sure hot. I sure appreciate it. This is the one that y'all have put together. I believe we talked, maybe not today, but before, my personal over here is Homer, Roger. Roger on that, Homer. It's been 3-4 months since I would say. But I'll tell you, start getting low. I can't even leave this radio, man, to go make money, man. Hey, dirty hands, clean money, South. Where they go? We gonna try and see if we can win money. Put it on. Hey, baby, let me know, man. I heard you. Hey, let me know, man. Big man boss heard you. Big man boss, stand by. And I work here time. I ain't really boss. You doing your thing up in the ground. Nah. 51300. I'm in your way. I'm in your way, wrong. Bang up. That's Roger. BB. 51 Georgia. Knock. Hello, Buckeye. South Carolina. 257. Got a good copy on you, Fort Roger. Right here where you said you were out.
With true life stories of real people, dramatized and produced in Chicago by Pacific Garden Mission. Being homeless and hungry can be a frightening experience, even for those who have been living on the street for a long time. And that's why George and Sarah Clark first opened a little storefront mission in the heart of Chicago's Skid Row more than a century ago. And that mission, whose doors have never closed, became known as the Old Lighthouse and is still a refuge to the homeless. Thanks to financial gifts of friends, the mission offers nourishing meals, fresh clothing, a safe place to sleep, even medical and dental care, and all without charge. Pastors and counselors stand in the gap, providing prayer and counsel, leading them to the one who
el oficialismo intenta de esta forma controlar el valor futuro de esta moneda.
El valor hay que estar en la calle, ¿no? Eso es lógico. Entonces va a subir cualquier moneda excepto el dólar. Y el mínimo va a ser es 24. El euro ya está disparado, el peso mexicano está disparado, la libra está disparada, el canadiense está disparado.
Hasta el momento casi la totalidad de las remesas se enviaban en dólares estadounidenses y tras el cierre de Western Union, estas llegaban en efectivo, por lo que el gobierno había perdido el control del efectivo circulante. Ahora, según opina este experto, se activarán nuevos mecanismos.
La familia cubana de una u otra forma va a articularse con eso, es decir, va a empezar entonces en vez de mandar dólares va a mandar euros y va a tratar de utilizar los mecanismos que existen todavía en Europa de transferencias monetarias.
Luis Guardia, Radio, Televisión Martín.
Por otro lado, varios opositores y miembros de la sociedad civil sufrieron este lunes cortes de los servicios de telefonía e internet cuando intentaban participar en la creación del Consejo para la Transición Democrática en Cuba. Desde Matanzas, el opositor Félix Navarro Rodríguez así denunció a Radio Martín.
El lunes 14 de junio de 2021 fuimos cortados en el servicio.
I told you here on this broadcast several times that the gospel of Christ seems to have none effect today. It has no power. It doesn't hardly transform any life. The avenue of faith is being removed. Jesus,
Lord, years ago, to him. He did.
Photographers, camera persons, individuals, groups, companies everywhere in the world for all your contributions of news that bring hope to humans and animals, thus uplifting the atmosphere of our planet. May heaven bless your noble endeavors and protect you always, especially while on challenging duty.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit ScreenMasterTV.com/schedule and ScreenMasterTV.com/NWN.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule et SupremeMasterTV.com/NWN.
God loves everybody. The sinners.
the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believes it. Now, how much power is in it to one who don't believe it? None at all. You see, the power is not in the gospel itself.
They look the worst of all. I mean, they look like never come to pass.
www.csctalkradio.com and or chat with me on Facebook.
Les informó Jorge Orellana.
Current issues of the day. More than a talk show, we publish a monthly newsletter at the Pin. Call our office 5.
Earthly things, but what about the power to live without sin? You see, outside they appear to be inside.
She frequently talks about her priest, who just happens to be Jesuit, and
deny the power of God. They have a form of godliness, but they deny the power of God. Now come on. And they deny.
Wow, what a trip. Very exciting. And I got back to 96 degrees and cicadas everywhere. Holy smokes. You're a little quiet this morning after that storm came through last night. Back to you, Ken. W3TOM. Over. Yeah, Tommy, cicadas don't come out when it's cool.
If it's 70, around 70 degrees and below, the cicadas don't come out. So after that storm last night, they didn't, it got really cool. It got down to about, so there's...
The back of the Reagan, finally got it squared away, so I thank you for coming back to me. At least I know the rig's still good.
Procurement policy, trends, innovations, and debate. Now your host, John
201. I had to hear me my amplifier fix 605. Country 49 Alabama 207 Battle Creek, Michigan.
Oh, man, how you doing this? Battle Creek here, way out to you. No, you ain't got no business hearing me over there in the big orange county. What's wrong with you? They thought it's HD or Jackson. I got mine. No, you ain't got no business hearing me. You got me big. That good. That must be that good called Mother Nature. Oh, Steve or Jackson in Georgia looking up north. I got it. Bye.
Someone put a thumbs up.
Hey, 777, you sounding like a cop picking local down here in the sand pile too, man. I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. I wish I could talk. Alright there, 777. Alright there, 777. Have yourself a good thing up that way around the cornfield. Stay till we get to do it again. Hope you have a happy passage day coming up if we don't get to do it before then. Alright there, 777. Be careful, be safe, and have a good day, doggone, around the pile. Hello, big boss. Hello, big boss around Rhode Island. I'm waving my hand. Hey, big boss. Man, I think I lost you in the hash and trash, but I did bump it down. Hey, man, I'm hoping I'm making the trip that way.
Por supuesto. Había que proteger a la población.
Yeah, because some people are $200 a piece for them things.
En aquellos momentos, ¿no? Y entonces que podían recoger.
But that was a modification.
La parte que lleva el nombre de, bueno, uno de los grandes héroes de los movimientos cubanos, un poco más allá. La plaza que antes mencionaba frente a la iglesia parroquial mayor, pero anteriormente no. Colonial, lo que se conoce como el centro histórico de la ciudad de San Luis, donde sin duda es parte de ese centro y se desarrolla sobre todo en el 19, ¿no? Sí.
la ciudad empieza a expandirse en esa dirección. Como te digo, va variando, o sea, esas edificaciones se van transformando, pero lo interesante es el trazado. Y pueden encontrarse un edificio del siglo XX en una de esas plazas coloniales. Es muy interesante eso también, la manera en que la arquitectura neoclásica y ecléctica, en el caso de San Francisco, se inserta en la trama histórica, ¿no? Y básicamente la ciudad tiene no solo 12 plantas, empiezan a aparecer en el 2 plantas, 18 y más tarde en el 19, y por supuesto en el 20 llegan a tener 3 plantas, como en el caso del hotel, ¿no?
Sí, del hotel Perla, sí.
Y es interesante porque el desarrollo de esta ciudad en el 19 y el 20. Bueno, hasta la llegada de y eso bueno, viene en cierta y hay paralización. Durante el siglo XIX todo esto al principio no había un desarrollo considerable.
Y las construcciones que más llaman la atención es el espíritu de la cosa ecléctica de la ciudad, porque mencionabas tú la iglesia parroquial mayor. De ahí está lo que se conoce como el teatro principal, con unas arcadas muy interesantes, con muchísima historia.
Hablas de teatro que está en importante de la ciudad, ¿no?
Sí, eso es lo que se genera arriba, sobre todo la mayoría de lo que se pueden girar alrededor de las iglesias y sobre todo de las plazoletas, de la caridad, así que conoce esa está directamente sobre un parque. Por ahí las edificaciones son un poco más modernas, pero así mantienen la tradición esas típicas casonas con techos muy altos, con unos portones muy grandes, unas ventanillas muy grandes de hierro, y el patio interior es fundamental en este tipo de construcción. Bueno, para la papá, pero es el paso
patio, es muy simple. La vivienda como tal, ¿no? El reciclaje y fruta, y entonces existe ahí un espacio maravilloso. Es interesante la expansión de la ciudad, incluso habíamos hablado de las 3 patios que están en portales, completamente se instaló a todo ese pueblo, pero ahí estaba el mercado. O sea, en esa plaza de gente que inició el mercado. Y se empezó a construir con teclados de cera, madera, era una adición que después se solicitan los permisos, se construye, pero sin duda ese aspecto del ágora, esa plaza fortificada, permite desarrollar toda esta actividad comercial de una manera, porque bueno, de la misma, en el espacio exterior, una manera
sucede en San Espíritus, hemos hablado de Trinidad, sucede en manteniendo que están haciendo parte de los propios pobladores, sobre todo esas primeras villas fundadas por Diego Velázquez, integradas, sí.
igual que se pueda mucho de lo que vemos hoy en día no corresponde a ya en el 19 empiezan a aparecer los parques de las plazas, o sea, las plazas se convierten en parques. En el caso de la calidad también, completamente. Y eso es el tipo que hay
insignes de la ciudad que confluye directamente ahí junto que posterior que está frente a la iglesia católica, estando relativamente cerca. El centro de la ciudad se traslada un poquito, pero no se aleja mucho de lo que sería, digamos, el centro religioso que lleva todo esto, ¿no? Quizás por eso las características que tienen este tipo de ciudades, además de tener los campanarios con los toques de campaña, a las cuales todavía se ese tipo de construcciones de Villa Conchita que hay en muchos lugares de Cuba, ¿no? No podemos solamente dedicar esta característica, porque es una fuerza de
Hello out there, Big Pappy. There, 183 Big Pappy in Virginia.
Es una joya,
no está en el sentido creativo, pero de alguna manera, con un centro histórico tan antiguo, con tanto una identidad tan precisa, una pandemia, ¿no? Algo que le ha atacado al organismo. Hay teorías de que ven las ciudades como organismos, ¿no? Sí. Y algo orgánico, biológico. Y de alguna manera, esto es una especie de invasión, un virus que ha contaminado todas estas ciudades, ¿no? Y eso es algo que realmente es preocupante. Yo creo que es irreversible en algunos casos. Pero no obstante, el centro histórico se mantiene bastante conservado. Cuando estudio quizá no tengo tanto turismo como que eso quizá le venga...
Ayuda un poco.
Desde el punto de vista económico no, quizás, pero desde el punto de vista de la conservación de la ciudad, incluso del atmósfero originario que tienen estas ciudades, ¿no? Que se alteran con el turismo en los países.
Claro.
¿Verdad?
Sí, definitivamente es así. Y además, evidentemente, no es un polo turístico, no tiene el atractivo de quizás la cantidad de construcciones tan antiguas que se mantienen como Trinidad, no tiene la playa, se dedicaba incluso hace mucho tiempo, era más ganadera, más agrícola, estaba en función de eso también la ciudad, y eso de alguna manera permitió que este tipo de construcciones perduraran, ¿no? Y sigan perdurando, y esperemos que en muchas ocasiones durante muchos siglos sigan perdurando, porque son joyas de nuestra historia y sobre todo de nuestra
that corrupts but fear. Fear of losing power corrupts those who wield it, and fear of the scourge of power corrupts those who are subject to it. You think about what they have done here in America with their lust and greed for power and profit. And then they look at us and they tell us how bad capitalism is, as everybody in Congress just keeps getting filthy rich, and Americans get poor, and the middle class is disappearing, and then they stand up and have the nerve to tell us we're in this together. No, we're not in this together. And the media that does their bidding and the media that pretends to not do their bidding are getting richer and richer and richer. And the American people are getting poorer and poorer and poorer. Through the Democrat Party and the Republican Rhino parties, the government gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the people get smaller and smaller and smaller. So there's nothing left for us. Nothing. This is from J.K. Rowling, that's the British author of the Harry Potters. Perhaps those who are best suited to power are those who have never sought it. Those who have leadership thrust upon them and take up the mantle because they must. And find to their own surprise that they wear it well. How many of you never really lusted, never even wanted power? Maybe you're the one being called. Maybe school board member is calling you. Maybe you need to run for the school board. Maybe you need to become an alderman in your city or your town, or a county commissioner. Maybe you need to run for office. Mayor. Out of the Spider-Man movie, it was with great power comes great responsibility. I would say those in power here in the United States have shirked their responsibility. I have some articles here I'm going to share with you that I hope that will confirm what we have said. Somebody they're following on Facebook, he said he read where they're going to try and cancel the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, I know there have been, for years, there have been those who hated the national anthem because it's so violent. You know, I've got a son that's a chaplain for hospice, and he told me one time we had an incident in the family, and he said, "Mom, death is always violent. We fight it. We don't want to give it up." So life is something you have to really fight to keep. And if we don't fight for life, if we don't fight for liberty, there'll be no pursuit of happiness, property, or prosperity. because those in charge want to take it away. They're like the man around the corner in the trench coat. He's got something to sell you. Well, they've sold America a bill of goods, and it's called socialism. And we've been deep in it for a long time, and I can prove it. These people that have been in Congress, like Biden, that have been in Congress, that have been in politics for their careers, for their lives, they're not there for you. No, they're working for the corporations. They're working for themselves. And they don't care a snip about you except at election time. And now they're fixing it on the left, so that doesn't even matter either. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. That's another cancel. If we ever get through all these audits and we find out they really did cheat, which I know they did, and Trump won, will we cancel that election of 2020? I'm for it.
For centuries, those who raise, breed, and work with animals have been revered and lauded for what they do. Today, across America, the rights to own and raise animals are under attack by animal rights activists and their increased influence on government and non-government agencies. This onslaught regularly violates protection from legal search and seizure and a citizen's right to due process of the law, all of which are outlined specifically in the U.S. Constitution. Protect your animals, your animal enterprise, and your property from this abuse of power. With a membership to the Cavalry Group, membership provides immediate access to their team to protect law-abiding animal owners and animal enterprise against unwarranted search and seizure and false claims. They also work to protect their members legislatively at the local, state, and federal levels. Get the shield that protects you, your animals, and your property. Join the Cavalry Group today. Call 855-748-4210 or go to their website at thecavalrygroup.com.
For such a time as this, we know that the heart of a nation takes on the heart of its people. If the people have turned from God, the nation is doomed in sin. God is in control of all nations and their leaders. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no...
presentan nueva legislación para honrar al fallecido opositor cubano Osvaldo Payá. La Organización de Estados Americanos, OEA, realiza una sesión extraordinaria para analizar la situación en Nicaragua. Concluyó la cumbre de la OTAN con la determinación de enfrentar las amenazas de regímenes autoritarios como Rusia y China. Esas y otras noticias serán ampliadas en nuestro noticiero estelar del mediodía. Sigan con Radio Martín. Les informó Orellana.
Radio República presenta La Cuba que perdura. Un programa donde el alma nacional es la protagonista. La cultura cubana en sus diferentes manifestaciones. Los orígenes y los forjadores de nuestra nacionalidad. Los valores, las tradiciones y la historia que conforman la cubanía. Las raíces del cubano y su proyección en la actualidad. La Cuba que perdura. Un programa dirigido y animado por la Fundación Padre Félix Varela de Miami, que comienza ya.
Saludos queridos amigos, les habla Germán Mirel, secretario de la Fundación Padre Félix Varela de Miami, enviándoles un fraterno abrazo a nombre de todos los miembros de nuestra fundación y en el mío propio. Hoy quisiera dedicar este programa a un político de la era republicana, un patriota, veterano de la guerra de independencia, un hombre honrado. Mucho ha predicado el régimen castrista sobre los políticos ladrones que gobernaron en Cuba en la época republicana, cuando en aquella época había muchísimos más hombres honrados que los que desde 1959 mal gobiernan nuestro país, además de robarse a manos abiertas todo lo que se les antoje. comenzando por el tirano número 1, Fidel Castro, y terminando por cuanto personaje ha tenido oportunidad de robar impunemente dentro de ese régimen. Mientras hacen alarde de honradez. Aquí cabe aquello de dime de qué presumes, te diré de qué careces. Hoy quisiera hablar de este patriota de la guerra de independencia que personificaba la honradez, la honestidad. Y no es don Tomás Estrada Palma, hombre honrado, a tal punto que José Martí lo nombró delegado del Partido Revolucionario Cubano y a su vez. Comenzada en Yara, llevaba ya 8 años de continuo batallar. Se hablaba siempre de la
y en las manos del alfarero.
They've become woke. Well, their pizza got really bad several years back, so I don't buy Pizza Hut pizza anymore. I used to. It used to be something great to go putt-putt to the Pizza Hut, you know? But it's not anymore. And now they're all woke. So cancel Pizza Hut. And I suggest you go to Casey's. Cancel Pizza Hut, go to Casey's. Now, here's another one. Caucasian should be canceled as a term for white people, says this med college. Cities, it says, cites author who claim Caucasian prioritizes comfort of white people. I thought it was just a term for white. Instead of saying white, you said you were Caucasian. What are they going to do? I won't say what I was going to say. Kevin Hart, I'm not going to use his language, but he says cancel culture. Cancel it all. He says they need to just shut up. And he said a few other words in that. So there are a few people out there. And here's something to prove to you that the elite in D.C., with their nose in the air looking down at you peasants, oh my goodness, they're just, oh my goodness, they're from the flyover states. They worked in a factory. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, Dianne Feinstein, who is a senator for 100 and some years, I think, has accepted an award from a group tied to both the Bush family and the Chinese Communist Party. This is coming from the Washington Free Beacon. Actually, the article is from American Greatness, and Eric Lindrum wrote it. Remember, a few weeks ago I said, start writing down the Chinese connections? Not only is she connected, my gosh, she's being awarded for it. And we, the peasants, sit here and we pay taxes and our roads don't get better. They want to increase the tax on the gasoline as the gasoline gets higher, and, you know, maybe we should cancel Dianne Feinstein. California, are you listening? Now listen to that, because this is also the Bush family in this. The Bush family is connected to the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP. Are you listening to me? Yes, it was Herbert W. Do you think GW wasn't either? Do you think, what was the other guy's name? He was really boring. Jeb? You think he wasn't? The whole family is involved in it. It was Herbert W. that got up and said the New World Order. He was the first one that said the words out loud. They were all going after it. I don't think Ronald Reagan was. But he did some things too, because just like Trump, He had a deep state around him. You need to understand, America, this isn't new. And these social programs that they keep throwing at you and acting like they're going to help your community is hurting your community. It's taking away your independence and your liberties. You need to understand. Quit taking from them. These guys are the pimps. And if you don't do what they say, they're going to beat you up one way or another. You understand that, right? There was no insurrection on January 6th. And while I don't know that what they did was a good thing, I don't think it was. At the same time, I'm thinking they had every right to walk in that building. Not to break down windows. They had every right to walk in that building. They had every right to stand there and watch over these lawmakers who are elected officials and say, count the votes correctly. Make sure you know what you're doing. They had every right to do that. And now, I don't know how many of them are being held political prisoners without bail. They're refusing bail for these guys. And we just sit here. We just sit here. Where are all these constitutional attorneys and lawyers? Are these people too poor to pay them, so they're not going to help them? Where's the ACLU? Where's the ACLJ? What's the ACLJ? Where are they? Why aren't they getting these guys out of jail in D.C.? I'm going to tell you something again that I told you a week ago. We the people outnumber them, and they know that. But the elite, they have such a hold on the institution of government. And they're strangling we the people. Dianne Feinstein getting an award. Feinstein, if you remember, she had previously faced scrutiny. Oh, well, it died down because it was the Democrat side for the fact that her Senate office employed a suspected Chinese spy. It wasn't suspected. They figured it out. Who worked as her driver. No, he was an office manager and served other various roles for over 20 years. It didn't just happen. He didn't just pop in there and say, oh, by the way, I'm not a spy. Can you hire me? Swalwell. In bed, literally in bed, with a Chinese spy. And the whistleblower before the 2020 election. If you saw that video, I don't know if we can even find it, said the Chinese party had warned the Democrats they better not let Trump win. So they pulled out everything, including a pandemic. And I'm not so sure. Everybody else, no, we can't say it was on purpose. Why can't we? They won't prove that it wasn't. Why can't we say it was on purpose? They purposely hid it from us. And all those who went along with them, Fauci and Birx, Pelosi went along with them, Feinstein went along with them, and others. They went along with them. In my eyes, they're no different than a war criminal. Oh, Beth, that's radical. Maybe it is. Maybe it is radical. So is hundreds of thousands of Americans that died because of this pandemic, died because they could have used hydroxychloroquine, but the government, Birx and Fauci and all those, the media, oh no, and Facebook, oh no. In fact, they're still, after hydroxychloroquine has come out as a good thing, they're still killing it. You can't put it on Facebook. It's misinformation. How about all that diet stuff out there that's misinformation? Tells you you're going to lose all this weight. How about all those doctors that are telling you this and telling you that? They're all over Facebook. They're not misinformation. America, you better wake up. Or your children's blood will be spilt. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. I hope we'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Ask yourself.
Man, man, and me,